Thanks for coming back to Saga 3 Kings. Session number 28 remains in darkness. Last session, they beat each other up a lot, and we proved that the real all-star of the party is always and will always be Shambles. Shambles is the greatest. What a cool guy. Heart eyes. He the best. Okay, so after taking a short rest upstairs, you descend back down into the underside of the Magier's Tower. And yeah, you have free reign. For now, Leon and the elk will remain upstairs. They can. Oh, there he is. He's never mind. Kevin popped in.
I think they're here.
He is right there. He is right there with you guys, ready to go.
Just like he always was.
Yep.
You guys want to finish the prison cells where we were last time?
Yeah, which direction?
Down and to the left.
So, yeah.
Lead on.
Kevin, you're really quiet. Just heads up.
Okay. So if you're heading back to the halls, the markings remain as present, ever present. They the guards, as you've been calling them, they appear to have stayed in the room with the rock. If you circle around to it, if you do go and check that area, do you go and check that area? I'll just ask it that way.
Yeah, I'll look at it. I'll take a look at it.
You'll note that the stone, just above the stone, there appears to be an outline of a woman, like slowly coming into shape, but it's very slow, and it seems the guards are encircled around the stone, waiting for the female figure to reform.
Does that mean I'm asking the others that they're going to bind her?
Does that figure look familiar? Would I assume it's that same female ghost?
It's a same female ghost. What you'll notice is, though, it doesn't look like it's going to be a process that's going to be quick. It appears that she is basically being reformed incorporeally in this space. And it kind of makes you think for a second that this might be why ghosts and zombies and the like might be drawn here, because of this residual potency, the ability to remain in undeath in perpetuity.
So as long as we don't pick up the rock, we should be fine.
Yeah. Well, Benson, if you want to take a couple seconds and think about this, I'll let you make a religion check.
I would. You did say we had a short rest, right?
Yeah, you can take it during that.
Okay, cool. I just want to make sure because I need to use hit dice is what I'm saying.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah, heal up. Yeah, Sham will beat the shit out of everybody.
I never touched Vincent.
I think in robot mode, maybe we should call him Jangles. No?
He does need something else.
Is it still Shambles? Jangles is good.
I don't know. Shambles isn't quite fitting, but it is his moniker.
Jangles is clanky.
I'll think on it. All
right. Hey,
I don't dislike Jangles. I don't dislike Jangles.
Jangles isn't bad. It's just I'm not sure yet.
Right.
22.
22 is pretty solid. So with the new information, with the information that you have, what you're basically understanding is if the stone had been granted to the undead, the ghost, it had been given to her, or if she was in a corporeal form while she was holding it, she would have been able to become a corporeal undead, a physical entity with presumably lifelike functions. If it remained inside of a body and held the stone for about a minute, it would have basically transmuted the body it was in into its own physical body, and it would have lived again. So, based on what you understand here, they are prisoners until the living give them the stone that they're bound to, and allow them out of the prison. So
it's super lucky that it was Shambles and not one of the others, right?
No, Shambles would have become a physical form. It would have transmuted the material of the living creature. Even though he looks like a robot, he's still got living juices inside of him.
So we should keep that rock for the next time one of us dies.
You're pretty.
We need to find an empty rock.
No, you're pretty sure that it's for the bound individuals, the people who are bound here, the ones that the guards are looking over, and that have these rocks to them.
You need a special rock of your own.
Yeah. Grok says, "If I die, keep me dead. I don't want to be that."
Boring.
Boring. So vanilla.
Shambles is like, "You sure? I mean, I'm rocking."
Some dope shit has happened to me.
He is very sure.
I can run across the country in moments.
Could.
Anyways, the pathway to the north is blocked off by these portals. Or not these portals, but these rune markings, which, as you noted last time, do a pretty massive amount, potentially a lot, of necrotic damage. The passageway to the south seems to be open, and it is where they originally were guarding the detained.
Yeah, said south.
Okay. As you head south and come around the corner there, you enter into a 20-foot wide, 20-foot high hall. On each wall of the hall, there are a total of 5 sarcophagi. The sarcophagi are plain, coffin-shaped. They appear to be mounted into the wall. And they don't appear to have any kind of opening mechanism or locking mechanism. Just the swiveling, or the... oh my god, why can't I think of the name of the thing?
Hinged?
That's the one. The hinges on the sides of the little doors.
I don't like mummies. I'm gonna go walk on the ceiling.
Okay. You'll note up there on the ceiling that there does appear to be kind of a painting on the ceiling, but it looks like over time it's faded and kind of lost a bit of its presumed grandeur. What you're able to kind of make out is there looks like there's some kind of signature of a battle that looks like it's being told in parts. The main part being, or the beginning part being told over the left or westernmost portion of the hall. The more epic, like end portion, kind of over the center portion of the hall, like over around like here. And then it looks like there's a terminus of the battle in the hall up ahead.
I'll head over there to check out that.
Okay. When you enter into this hall, you'll see that there's a pair of double doors that appear to be gilded. It looks like they have kind of etching marks into them. The same language that was on the exterior, the same kind of magical bindings. You would note too that to the north of you there is a altar. It's covered over with leather, and it has a pair of pretty decent sized rocks, not too dissimilar from the rocks that you saw in the binding room. They do look like they have chisel marks on them, but they don't appear to have been finished. And there is a hammer and chisel there as well. And I mean that's 1 rock per each of them, sorry.
Right.
And then there does appear to be kind of like a platform on top of the leather, like a piece of stone. And it looks like there's a bit of blood on each one of them.
Can Beldrug use Divine Sense in this room?
Yeah, if Beldrug uses Divine Sense, he will note that there is definitely auras inside of the coffins.
Thank you.
The coffins themselves appear to emanate the auras, in actuality.
The coffins, not the contents?
The coffins themselves... Well, you can't see through metal, so...
Right.
Yeah, the coffins themselves seem to be emanating some sort of undead aura.
Okay.
Any kind of markings or symbolism on the coffins themselves, the sarcophagi?
Bland. Nothing on them.
Okay.
They appear to be made out of copper, but over time they've kind of greened and kind of darkened in patina as well. In some patches you can kind of see like green along the sides, but like the main color of it's kind of like a burnished brown.
Would the dwarf know anything about the stonework?
He basically equates it to what he's seen so far. It's very Meridian. It's very old.
Okay.
Vincent's tables are all yours.
I will check out the top one first.
Okay. Yeah, so there does appear to be a stone that looks like it was being worked on, one of those strange binding stones. Doesn't look like it was finished. And again, like I said, it appears to be just like a stone block that's about 8 feet long, about 3 feet high, and probably about 4 feet deep. That's just got a large mat of leather that's been kind of bolted to the top of it. There are a couple of stones, one on each of the altars. So there's the one on the altar you're looking at, and a couple of work tools therein, chiseling, hammers, and such. And then there's a stone kind of small work surface that has like a bit of blood kind of stained on it.
I'm guessing that's the binding agent. The blood will bind it to the person.
Without rolling an Arcana check, with just thinking about it, and from what you know from the binding, this appears to be a place where someone would perform the ritual that you're not familiar with how it works. You have an idea of it, but you wouldn't be able to replicate it.
Okay. Is the bottom table any different?
Identical.
Okay, they're both identical.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I would let them know. Yeah, it looks like somebody. This is where the binding took place. This is where they would bind the stones for the users.
Okay.
So they're made for a specific person.
It looks like it. Yes.
Is anybody checking out the gold doors to the east?
Yeah.
Okay. Shambles, when you get within 10 feet of it, you drop like a ragdoll and just hit the ground. For you, you just black out. Everyone watches as the artifice falls to the ground unconscious.
Well, I don't like that.
I'm batting 1,000 in here, boys.
Is there anything on the door itself? Any markings, engravings,
Yeah, there's a bunch
of magic?
There's a bunch of engravings. Like I said, it does appear to be the same language that was out on the walls of the building outside. Does anybody go into the area to retrieve Shambles, or do you just leave them there?
Beldrug will try to grab him.
Okay. Beldrug rushes in, grabs him, has this weird kind of sensation for a second, and drags him out. He doesn't know how to understand what the sensation is. But yeah, the second he's away from the door, Shambles, you feel yourself kind of come back to consciousness. You're laying on the ground. You're being dragged by a dwarf. The dwarf looks down at you, and in a Joe-ish kind of way, "Are you all right?"
Yeah. I had the strangest dream. I was a robot, and
And you were there.
You are a robot.
I am half of the.
Swear to me.
Punch. Working on completing the set.
Sorry, I'm done making fun.
What happened to me? Do I know? Can I grasp such a concept?
It feels like you stopped existing, like for a moment.
Huh.
You aren't sure how that works.
I would be helping him up, and as I'm helping him up, casting prestidigitation on to knock all the dust off.
Are you
That's awful sweet.
in an industrial zone? Just curious.
Air compressor.
Oh, air compressor. Okay, that makes sense.
I can do that prestidigitation.
Oh
no! It sounds like there's an air compressor running in the background of wherever you are. Trey.
Yeah, you sound like you're in like.
That would be my heater.
Oh, okay.
My air conditioner heater.
That's what that is. Got it.
Clanking.
Yeah, it's a rum dinger. Anyway, if you kind of look at the markings and kind of look to Shambles and kind of think about what's going on here, do you have any hypotheses as to what might be happening here, Chody, or anybody present? Or
anti-magic field?
I think it might have more to do with the binding process.
So what you would know is, Benson, just from study, anti-magic fields would not have effect on an Undaunted. Undaunted are created living creatures. If you want to make an Arcana check to see if you can ferret out of your studies what it might be, you can.
23.
If I were to...
You remember in olden times that there was ways of creating Undaunted. You've thought about it a lot as of late because of Shambles, but not in the past couple of 6 days. But you know that the fluids that are basically used to create an Undaunted in the typical method, you have a fluid called Vitae, which is created from Orvo which is a neutral fluid, which neutralizes all magic around it, similar to an anti-magic field. And then a yellowish fluid, which is proto-vitae, which, when those two are kind of mixed together, create the stuff of life. It's believed, mainly from older traditions, that blood itself inside of living creatures, mortals, is not too dissimilar from the stuff that's in Undaunted called vitae. It's like,
is that the same thing that happened to Valette in the other campaign when it came into contact with that greenish fluid?
It's out of character knowledge, but yeah, Valette did fall over when she was in contact with vitae, or Orvo, correct?
Okay.
Would me replicating the phenomena assist in any way?
Do you want to rush back in there and fall over again?
I just want him to have access to all the information he can.
Can't knock me down, stupid door.
Pull him out, drop him back in again.
Son of a bitch.
You're stubborn.
No, I guess for... And if nobody gets through there, right, fellas? That's a no-no door. Please don't leave me.
I'm gonna climb down the wall and go investigate the door myself.
Okay. The second you kind of enter into it, you'll note two things. Do you kind of climb from the top and then descend down it?
I will climb down farther back and then walk up to the door in
Yep.
case I get knocked unconscious so I don't fall off the ceiling.
Well, no, you'll note that the second you kind of enter within 10 feet of it, you're no longer sticking to the ground as you were before. You seem like you're walking without slippers. You'll also note that there's no glow to the sword. There's no presence of any kind of magical effects that you're normally familiar with. Since you're more acutely aware than I would presume Beldrick would be of his own magical itemry, you are acutely aware that they're currently turned off.
So now it's an anti-magic field.
Again, it's not an anti-magic field, as stated. It is something different, but it has similar effects.
But the same. Got it.
Can we remove that from it? You said it was that.
I'm gonna go investigate the door itself.
Do you touch the door? There doesn't appear to be any...
I won't make physical contact until I feel safe enough.
There are no door handles. There are no apparent hinges. There are just two slabs of stone that are gilded over completely, just complete sheets of gold, with carvings in them that have been filled in with gold as well. The markings are of a same styling as the markings that were on the outside of this building.
None of us were able to read that, right?
Yeah, none of you could read it at all.
Then I'm just going to stand here and stare at the door and pretend like I'm doing something.
Okay, make a perception check.
22.
You hear a fluidy sound coming from the doors and the wall that you're looking at. Just this northern wall, or this eastern wall here. Sounds like some kind of fluid is flowing either through the doors or around in the walls.
I'm going to get closer to it with my ear, but not touch it, and kind of move my head around and see if it feels stronger on one side or the other.
It sounds like it's filled with fluid. Like it sounds like there's fluid moving around inside of it, like pipe.
Walls and doors.
Both, correct.
Guys, I'm going to touch it.
You said
Do it.
You're touching it?
I'm telling them I'm going to touch it. Is anybody opposed to it?
I would, but...
Oh, wait a second. Beldrug is going to step within 10 feet of you so you can get the benefit of his aura of protection.
He doesn't gain it.
That gets turned off as soon as you walk up, I'm pretty sure.
It doesn't get through the buffering field.
Okay.
Supernatural effects. See,
tried.
Anti-magic won't stop that, by the way. This does.
It's better than anti-magic.
Yeah, it just stops all supernatural BS.
Damn.
I touch it.
Okay. The second you do, the sarcophagi behind you open up and deposit skeletons into the room. You also hear a loud mechanism in the door kind of...
Oh, son of a bitch.
And you watch as the hinge areas of the doors, which you presume were hinge areas, kind of break open, like the stone kind of breaks open in a weird mechanical pattern, and you can hear the fluid more loudly now that it's opening up.
I run.
From what you can tell, it looks like the door is opening, but the mechanism that is opening the door seems like it's going to take some time.
I'm going to run back around the corner and climb up the ceiling.
Oh, no. we're going to initiative right when you touch the door. So.
Oh, no, no, no. Here we go. Rock. Beldrug. For Beldrug.
Highway ropes.
Right.
Yeah. Ropes. MVP.
All right, Kevin, you're in a pickle.
You're
We're gonna
amongst
get you
your
out of it.
He's amongst his people, though. He hates those
Yeah,
things.
he is in his element. Is where he is.
Use my
Alright.
fucking sheet.
Stamp
So-
them.
As you'll note, there is no initiative for your combatants, your opponents, but Ropes goes first. Go ahead.
Ropes will hold.
All right.
Kevin and the elk rolled late. You're gonna need to reset your tracker.
Thank you.
Kevin's super quiet too.
He's not too bad. Okay, so on 20.
On 20. Stampy gets Stampy. Benson, get back.
Yep.
He lives for this.
You watch as all the skeletons kind of march in towards that direction. The skeletons who are closest to Stampy and closest to Ropes will take their attacks.
Are they able to exit with the elk there?
Yep. Because the platform as you're seeing it is a little off. They're actually more closer into the wall. They're not 5 feet wide.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, they're going to attack on Ropes. 20 and a 17. Why'd you roll initiative for Ropes again?
I didn't. I clicked on his sheet and it just threw an initiative.
Okay. I'll set him back to 23. Alright, so they're going to be attacking him, so both of those will hit, so 13 damage for him.
Okay.
And then 2 attacks against the elk. 13 and 13. I don't think either of those hit.
They barely miss.
Alright. Kevin, you are up.
Disengage and let the elk move for me.
Okay. Yeah, you can move the elk. Go ahead and move as you please. You can
With the elk. Can the elk also disengage before I get clapped?
Well, the issue is where you would go. You can diagonally move down to the south if you're trying to go inwards. So you go here, and then hop along that way. But if you're
Kick off that wall.
if you're disengaging and using your movement to move the creature, then your disengage action is for the elk. You're basically steering the elk away.
Sure.
Yeah.
And yeah, as far away as we can get. Say like over here.
Yeah, you can move over there. All right. If you want to, you can go anywhere in the room, though. Is that where you want to go?
I mean, for now, yeah.
Okay. The second you get within 10 feet of the door, the elk drops down to his own feet, and it doesn't appear to be gliding any longer across the air.
Sugar.
Fuck.
All right.
Damn, got nerfed.
Elk, confused, kind of turns and looks back over his shoulder at you. But yeah, it's his initiative. I'm assuming he's... I don't know what he's doing. Go ahead. You tell me.
Well... Could charge this man.
Okay.
Let me whip out my ruler here.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Hell yeah. Charge this guy.
All right. Give me a Stampy attack, and yeah, you've got the benefit of the ram. 10 will miss.
Damn.
All right. Chody, you are up.
I'm gonna fireball. right in the center of them.
Okay. Go ahead and roll it.
Okay, I'm going.
You're not targeting the ones on ropes, right? Just the ones in the back?
No, the ones in the back. I don't want to hurt ropes. So 29.
Don't worry about rolling. Or I'm not going to even worry about rolling. That'll kill them all.
Yeah, baby.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm not going to X mark them out, but the 8 that are back there, they're down. Sorry. Beldrug?
Ropes
Okay.
to get held. I'm just gonna throw 3 attacks real quick.
Oh, okay. Ropes. Miss. Hit. Doesn't kill it. Hit. Kills it. The one to the north of him. Right?
Yeah, that's fine.
And Grok?
Beldrug, right?
No, sorry, Beldrug, yeah.
Yeah. Wormhammer.
That'll miss.
Okay, second attack.
That'll miss.
And he'll spit at the ground and curse and stand there.
At least that's accurate for the dwarf. Grok?
Grok will stand beside him.
Okay.
And we'll use his mace. 16 to hit.
That'll work. This is bludgeoning damage, so
9 bludgeoning damage.
take double. Okay, he's knocked down.
Nice.
That looks like all of them. Raya, the door appears to be continuing to kind of slowly activate. And again, like I said, the rushing sound of liquid, he appears a bit more fluid.
Yeah, I'm gonna go around this corner. Okay. And when I feel my stuff turn back on, I'm gonna go up the wall.
Okay. All right, Shambles.
Um,
And I'll tell them it sounds like liquid's about to come through.
yeah, okay. I'll post up down here.
Okay. On initiative 1, you hear a loud kind of sound from the door, and then you watch as the plates on the center around the ruins kind of break open as well, kind of creating this weird kind of like 3-dimensional chessboard type look of the plates kind of pulling off in each of the ruins. As this happens, you can see inside these glass tubes filled with this greenish liquid, but as they kind of become exposed to your sight, you watch as the green very quickly changes color from green to kind of like a bluish to more muted purple and then solid black in just a couple of seconds. As the liquid starts to flow black, a pulse of energy wails through the entirety of the chamber, also into the side chutes, and courses all the way back to the end of the hall. Everybody needs to make a Constitution saving throw.
Leon, Stampy, and Benson get +2, and Grok get +2.
And ropes.
And ropes.
Fail.
Man, I'm back on the good guys team and I cannot roll anything.
Oh god, what was the DC?
DC was only
I'm
15.
willing to bet above 3.
DC's what?
15.
15. I missed.
Okay. If you missed, you're taking 15 points of necrotic damage. If you succeeded, you're taking 7. And you also watch as the wave kind of it kind of recoils back like a sound wave kind of would do, and you watch as all the skeletons kind of reform and stand back up.
Neat.
Not this again.
23.
Yep. Smashy, smashy.
Mm-hmm. That'll kill him. Spinning
Throw
around.
the left. Yeah, throw the left over down south.
That'll hit. Alright. And... oh no, he's still alive. Okay. It goes to them.
So wouldn't they just activate and then stand up on their move?
No, on 1 they were brought back to standing.
Okay.
On 20 they get to take their full turn. Keep in mind these are challenge rating 1/2s that I'm throwing at you here. It's not like...
Yeah. They're annoyances.
I felt cool for a minute.
Yeah, no,
It was cool.
You did great. In all honesty, I'll explain why later. But yeah, the ones that get in, they will attack. I've got 4 on ropes and 1 on Grok.
One of you guys on rope should be dead, you said.
1 stepped in over on top of it.
Oh, okay.
Miss, crit. So ropes will take 10, and Grok will take none. And as he kind of comes in with his rusty short sword, you watch as he kind of hits you in the stomach area, like not in between the plate, but that's where he was going for, just right on the plate, and his sword just snaps into a bunch of rusty pieces. All right, Kevin, you got a pretty good vantage point up here on the elk.
Start planking them.
Yeah, go nuts.
Plank him.
All right, this guy first.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it hits. That kills. Second one will hit, and if you hit the one just south of ropes, that'll kill as well.
This one.
Yeah, so the first one you shot would be the one directly in front of you. It got killed by the 10, and then the one just south of that would have been the 8 and killed it as well. And then
Hell yeah.
elk. The elk could technically step in, attack, and then back out of Ropestown, or you can kind of side saddle into that corner because the elk can actually go and use 5-foot spaces.
You know what? We're gonna use ropes as a meat shield. We're gonna dodge.
Okay. Elk is in dodge mode. All right, Benson.
I used all my big spells, so that's fun. I am going to do. I can't do shocking grasp. I'll do chill touch on the one right here.
Make a religion check real quick before you get to casting spells, because you did ask a very important question. And anybody want to spend their inspiration for it or no?
Don't have it.
No. Okay.
Okay.
Yep. No new information.
25.
That'll hit.
10.
I'll kill it. All right. Beldrug, step in, smash.
Step and smash. So, Warhammer. Oh, goodness, great. The second one. There we go. And then, it's a smite, spell slot?
You don't need to do it.
Okay.
You're doing double damage already.
Yeah.
Got it.
Bludgeoning weapon. Also, you should probably be using the bigger hammer.
Which, okay.
Grok.
Great. Grok is going to step in and step in again and go for the one directly in front of him.
Okay.
17.
Yep.
So 18 damage if it's double damage.
Yep. That's a dead skeleton. And good. Alright, Raya.
Raya will walk across the ceiling.
Okay.
Stand on top of ropes and stab that guy right there.
Okay. It's 20. You're 20 feet up.
Oh, okay. Then he'll stand here and shoot him with an arrow and ignore that.
Yeah.
17 to hit.
That'll damage him, and that'll get him. Okay.
Take that too.
Yeah. Shambles.
Oh boy. Get up here in front of Benson. There's a lot of people in the way. Can I jump the dwarf? Wait.
Yeah. I'll allow it.
Yeah, I'm gonna pop him. And yeah, I'm just gonna start punching. Pop, pop, pop. 23.
Hit. Dead.
4, 7.
Double.
Gonna continue moving.
Yeah, monk is
13 to hit.
Miss.
20.
Hits.
16.
Dead. One left.
No. I'm gonna save it.
Okay.
Let somebody else get the glory kill.
On initiative 1, no one's really paying attention to the door, but you see
Correct.
they kind of break open into a bunch of pieces, and all the pieces slide over to the sides. And as that's happening, you can see the tubes kind of holding in air, and you realize that it's not glass that's holding them, it's actually energy, like force. And you watch as the liquid goes running from black, and then it changes from black to white, and then white to red, red to yellow, or red to orange, orange to yellow. And once it hits yellow, it kind of stops for a second, and a pulse of radiance smashes through the area. Everybody in the room needs to make another Constitution saving throw.
Everybody but Benson gets +2.
What's the range of the aura?
10 feet. Oh, and I'm not sure if you get it, Jeremy.
Too high.
Shoot, and
No,
Beldrog
we're 9
failed.
feet apart. If I'm roughly 6 feet tall, he's roughly 5 or 4.
No, it's so it's square spacing. So he's in space on the bottom 5 foot, and you're in space on the top 5 foot. So there's 10 feet between the two of you, which means you would need to be a large creature for it to touch. It's weird, I assure you, but yeah, you are outside of the range for it.
Looks like Beldrug and
still
Shambles and Leon failed.
Fair enough. So if you failed, you're taking 15 points of radiant damage. If you succeeded, you are taking 7. And you watch as
Oh my god.
We need to fix this door pronto.
you watch as this obliterates all of the skeletons. All of the bones seem to shuffle towards the back, and when the vacuum portion comes back in and it kind of zips through everything again, the bones remain back in the far wall corner. They're all just kind of shoved into the back area. And then the wind kind of snaps back to where the door is, and you watch as all of the pipes just fizzle away, and the door appears to be open now.
Kill that last skeleton.
To the left of the door, to the right of the door, there appear to be the doors having ripped themselves apart and placed themselves against the wall. So they're basically on the north and south wall now in those positions. And yeah, the doors are open, and the skeletons are all gone.
Appears to be a scarier sarcophagus down that way to the east, up those stairs.
Should I touch it?
I'm gonna climb down off the ceiling. I'll go investigate it. I don't care.
Yeah, as you get close to the door, the thing you'll note first is that there no longer appears to be the strange aura of take spider climb boots away. Shambles, as you approach, you do not immediately keel over and enter into a state of a fugue state. You are capable of moving through at this point.
Feeling good.
As you enter into this chamber, slow down, Raya. The ceiling in this room is about 30 feet high, and the room kind of forms like a cross shape. But it appears that the ceiling has a strangely vaulted shape to it, basically kind of beveling inwards into kind of like a squared arch or a quadruple arch, and then like a dome at the top. You see that the steps go up about 5 feet to a landing, and there is a very massive, very ornate sarcophagus on the top of the dais there. The room is covered wall-wise, ceiling-wise, with runes. They all appear to be the same styling of runes from before. However, the thing you'll note about them is they appear to be kind of faint, and as you kind of look at them and watch them for a while, you'll continue to note they are slowly disappearing, fading away like they were put into a state of illusory script, which Benson would kind of note if he's in there. But yeah, sarcophagus.
Is there any way to capture that before it fades away, Benson? No?
Pop your smartphone out. Grab a picture.
Take out your iPhone?
Yeah.
I'm gonna approach the sarcophagus and investigate it.
No. Okay. As you step onto the dais, as you stepped onto the first step, the sarcophagus lid cracks. Dust and smoke start to come out, and you see a hand reach out and touch the edge of the lid there. The hand appears to be undead, but also very well armored.
I stab it.
Go ahead and make an attack roll.
Oh, fudge.
All right, go ahead and tick mark Zadok. It should have a fine step to it. You only get the one attack, sorry.
I clicked on it to change the setting instead of in the cog.
Yeah, despite you having what you presume to be advantage, the attack hits against the gauntleted hand and bounces away, causing Zadok to vibrate a bit in your hand, and you can see that there's a couple of cracks towards the point. As that happens, you hear a voice say, "Is this how pleasantries are going to be acted?" And the lid pops open, and then rising up from it is a figure in full plate armor, a shield that floats up behind him and kind of just starts floating near his shoulder. And in his hand, he appears to be just like, in a lazy fashion, holding one of the most ornate longswords, second only to probably Zadok, in his right hand. He looks at you and he says, "You are not the ones who seek to kill me. I do not see your crosses, nor are you the ones who made me. Who are you that frees Sir Keegan from his tomb?"
I'm Shambles, the Scarecrow.
He looks to Raya. "Step down from this place. You have no right to be up here with me," as he steps out of the coffin onto his dais.
I mean, you gotta admit, you kind of got us by surprise here, man. You got knocked or something. I didn't know you were gonna just pop out of there. Nor did I know you'd be so polite. I'll take a step back. How's it going? How you been?
Shambles, I am your father.
So
Didn't respond at all to
who is it?
answer again.
Did you ask him a question? Sorry, Zach, I got interjected by the.
No, he said, "Who are you?" And I said, "I'm Shambles, the skeleton, the
and then,
Scarecrow."
And then Raya kind of
yelled at Raya.
well, yeah, because Raya was standing there right next to him, and then Raya kind of stepped down, and then he kind of turns back and looks at you, and he's like, "You don't look like a scarecrow."
It's a long story. Just let that one go.
I got better.
Inspiration. I got better. He says, hold on a second, sorry. He says to you, "I am Sir Keegan. I was only supposed to be released in dire need. Are you come here by accident? Or did you come here with that purpose of freeing me from this place?"
Accident would be accurate. We had no idea you were here or who you are.
"Then you must reseal the tomb."
You got it.
Is that hard to do?
So Obsidiah, master of Oshiriad, the ghost in the zone of truth, said that we should find one of the 5 judges and ask their assistance. They will help us.
He'd be dressed as a judge. This isn't a judge.
Okay.
This is Sir Keegan, some fallen knight from times past.
"I am the servant of the judges. Did they send you down here for a purpose, or did they allow you access as is the right of any who rule in this place?"
We were granted permission to enter, yes.
"But you have no purpose for bringing me about, is that correct?"
No, we are unfamiliar with the terrain and just stumbled upon you.
"Fair enough.
If you wish to rest longer, that's fine. We're sorry.
I was created for a purpose.
Which purpose is that?
To kill the Magier."
It said he's been long dead. Nearly, 200 years now? That was.
I don't think you understand how death works.
I sure don't.
I'm really, right now I don't, because this place is nuts. Would you like to come with us and kill the Magier? Is he still here?
I assume that the Magier still lives if I still live.
That math checks out.
Have you been to the high points of the tower?
We've only just entered.
If his death is required, then I will act upon it. But if you are not certain that he lives or stands, rather, then I will return to my crypt and you will seal me again.
If we find him, should we come back and get you?
Naturally.
Do you want to just come with us now? I mean, people think he's dead, but like you said, if you're alive, he should be alive. That's how the magic works, right?
I cannot act on possibilities. I cannot act on hypothesis. If he is not present and I go up there, he can bind himself to me.
Sounds like a bad thing. Alright, we'll come back for you.
You must bind me behind my door once again.
How do we do that?
Is your door going to try to kill us again?
If you attempt to open the door incorrectly, yes.
Is there a correct way to answer the door? Open the door?
Yes. Be the one
Can you tell us?
Be the one who crafted the door, or be one of the same lineage who crafted the door. A true Osirian is the only one who can touch the door and open it.
Do you see one of those amongst us?
He looks to Leon. I do indeed.
Okay. Well, we'll be back when we find him.
You must seal the door as I mentioned. Doing so will require the death of 2 nobles. One at each of the altars. Their souls bound to the stones and left inside of the guard chambers.
I don't think we have those.
Yeah, what?
Sir Keegan.
Can't say we just keep nobles on hand.
You can also replace the souls of nobles with the spirits within magic items.
It's also a big ass.
I was not the one who opened the door on accident.
Yeah, we got all that extra armor nobody can wear. Just chuck them on the altar. Let's get out of here.
From what I understand...
Are we carrying around magic stuff we can't use?
I knew we were.
Huh. Yeah, okay, if we've got the resources, sure.
There were clear instructions written on the door explaining what was required.
So, you've been here a while. Those languages are dead.
What year is it?
I tell them the current year.
That's not too far removed from... And then you say the era marker, and he goes, that is not an era I've ever heard of. How many eras?
Yeah, see, that's where our problem's gonna be. And like Ryan's like twiddling with his fingers. Ooh, it's been a minute.
He says, how many eras have been between your era and the era of the migration of Ryomand? And the only persons who would know that would be the ones trained in history. And we're looking at a couple millennia in between your current and his age.
Somebody tells him that.
I see. Well,
So, you want me should we just leave the door cracked? So you can stretch your legs or something? You've been in there a while, man.
I would prefer you bind the door. Every moment we speak in this regard gives him time, if he is aware of the opening of the door, to enact his magic upon me.
Huh. Yeah, alright.
So wait, you want us to close the door if we're not sure that he's alive, but you also
If we find
don't
proof
want
of
to
him,
come with us.
he can't. If he walks around, the mage can take control of him. So we need to leave and close the door, seal him
Okay.
in. If we find the mage, come back, Leon opens the door and lets him out to kill him for us.
He raises his hands and he says, silence. He looks to Benson. You are one who is trained in the arts of spellcraft. Am I wrong?
Not wrong, good sir.
I can smell it upon you, halfling. That said, you will understand what I mean when I say death is not a finality. Undeath is something that can reign in a person's existence for all eternity. The Magier is such a creature. He reigns in death and also outside of it. He can take corporeal form or incorporeal form. If he is not physical, he cannot act upon the material except through a body. No body present, he looks around at you all, is worthy of holding the Magier's power, save mine. If the Magier is aware of my presence and the doors having been opened, he will immediately try to seize upon my body, unless he has a physical body already, someone else whose body he has taken. Make haste, seal the door. If the body is found, and the Magier is within it, call for me again.
I I think we should go now.
Yeah, that sounds like the thing I said before we had that lengthy conversation.
I think I flooded it with questions.
Goddamn.
That was on me, guys. I'm sorry, Sir Keegan.
Goddamn king of soliloquies in here, Jesus.
You nap it up, buddy.
He goes back into his
We
coffin
will wake you when you're needed.
and shuts it.
Ooh, you gotta hurry up. I'm gonna have a 20-minute speech up here.
We close the doors and see.
I can find those. We had 2 armors that nobody can wear. Throw them on the altars.
Yeah,
What altars are they? The
North and
tables
south.
here?
Yeah.
Okay.
The 2 altars that are there. So you would need two magic items of uncommon, rarity, or higher that you will destroy in the process. And basically, from the way he described it, you are just going to effectively hit them with the rock until they break.
Such finesse in these rituals.
Yeah, and it seems that the stones are very capable, at least when smashed at this altar, of breaking those magic items. So, what 2 magic items do you utilize?
Those
Do I
should
have
be
extra
armors,
goggles of night?
No, there should be just enough goggles tonight for the party.
Oh, okay.
In the unclaimed, I have an instrument of illusions and vial silencer. Those are the only 2 items I have in the unclaimed section.
We have 2 suits of armor that weren't.
I'm not recalling the armor. Where did you get them from?
On those
From
D100 rolls.
The color tile room.
Oh, right. Let me see if I can backtrack into the chat. I don't think I gave cards out for that because nobody cared.
Yeah, you didn't because nobody could wear them. There were only 2 suits we could use, but we got 4. The others were supposed to have moved to the treasury, but apparently did not.
Yeah.
It's almost easier if we just had some nobles there. Wait. What's our dwarf?
Bear with me here.
What's his situation? Who are his parents?
Oh my god.
He is a noble.
He's,
No, he's
he's
not.
gonna off him like that, dude.
I mean, I'm weighing up. Clothes nobody
You still
wears, or
possessed?
this new dear friend.
Scrap of metal and leather or a human life. Dwarf life.
I could be noble. Nobody knows.
I'm definitely not, that's for sure.
Okay, I'm gonna have to rewatch that episode apparently because I don't think I typed it in the chat either. Interesting.
You remember what we're talking about, though,
I
right?
do recall the time, so I know what session I have to watch. For now, we're going to basically assume that it's either going to be the items that I don't remember and I didn't give you cards for, or if there's only 1 armor that was granted out or something to that effect, it'll be that.
What is other shitty things we're not using?
Yeah, the instrument of illusions, which nobody gives a shit about, yeah. Which I think might be...
I do remember that. I don't remember what it was for.
Actually, the instrument is common. The great sword, no one's using. So
There you go.
Great. It shall be done. So in doing so, you watch the doors reform in their positions and basically reverse in the same process without the pulsing.
Next time we're down here, Leon opens the door.
Less herdy variety of the
Thanks a lot, Leon.
You are the one that opened it wrong.
Yeah, well, thanks for the heads up. Why can't he read his own language?
It's not Osirian, it's Meridian.
Yeah, why can't you read Meridian?
It's too much pressure
Rock.
on us to perform.
Grok.
It's a dead language. It's a dead language outside of Meridia.
And I'm a dead Osirian, so.
I'm a dead whatever I was. Vitali. Let's get out of here. This sucks.
Guy wants us to kill nobles and shit.
Apologies. One last thing. Who was the one who performed the ritual on the magic items?
Probably me.
Probably Benson.
You would have done it with 2 different people. So who are the 2 people who did it?
Benson has tutelage over Shambles?
I'm going to say the paladin.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
So Beldrug and Benson.
Yeah.
That sounds right.
After
He's good with rocks.
After completing the ritual, everyone else will note that those two seem to have a strange kind of radiance to them, like an aura that lingers about them.
Nice.
Does it heal me at all?
Doesn't heal you at all, but if you'd like to try and kind of get more about it, you can make a religion check, and whoever's doing piloting Beldreg can do as well.
Throw me into the door.
Alrighty. Beldrug. Bad religion checks.
Good band, though.
Grok.
Yeah, not terribly good. Just a weird, strange radiance present about you.
Alright.
Just a couple of holy boys.
Tingly.
Where else did we have to explore? Was there north? West?
There's the ruined block paths north of here if you guys want to try to dig with those. Otherwise, there's the doors that Beldrug originally found that were never checked.
And there was that cavern south of the oozes. Or is that what you were talking about?
No, that's not what I'm talking about.
Did you go left or right?
Or we could actually go into the tower itself.
The tower sounds promising, because didn't he say up? Have you gone up?
Yeah, he said if you want to get into a boss fight, he might be at the top. We're going to go get our shit pushed in. That might be the way we want to go.
Well, we're going to have to do it eventually.
Not looking
The
to
left is where we have
get
it.
my
gone,
shit
but-
pushed in.
Remember last time we fast tracked down or up a shaft and
Yeah,
skipped all the stuff in the
I do
middle?
remember that. That was
No.
Oh, yeah, that was
the
fun.
other campaign. We got smushed.
Oh,
I got killed in absentia.
well, we were tired of it.
But yeah, they still seem to linger with this radiance. Does anybody else want to try? Grok, go ahead and make a religion check.
Yay, Grok. Come on, baby. Nope.
No.
Grok
Unless
does
somebody
not
wants
know.
to spend their inspiration on that.
Yeah, alright. Go for it.
Okay. So what you'll be detecting here, these strange auras that seem to have come about from breaking the magic items and sealing the door. These auras appear to be a radiant buffer or positive energy shield. Basically, from one source of necrotic damage, it will block all of the necrotic damage that is dealt to the individual and then be removed. It lasts for 24 hours.
Well, that sucks.
Okay, so they've got one save against necrotic damage.
So what I was about to say is Obzadiah said we can come and go as we please. We could have gone outside and reset. But
That were cool.
Well, sorry. One quick reminder, though: the glyphs in the strange hallway, they do necrotic damage.
yeah, you guys can walk over one of those.
But you're heading
Gee,
north
thanks.
here, so there's a door to the left, a door to the right.
Oh, I mean, we can always turn around and go back.
Yeah, if you want to turn around and go back.
I mean, we got all kinds of doors here.
There's a lot of options. You don't want
I'll
to go back?
listen at the double doors.
Alright, we're not going back.
That's great. We're having a great time.
This is where we live. Okay, so door on the left, double door on the right, door on the north. The door on the left appears to be made out of stone, and is completely flat surfaced. There does appear to be a iron handle, very similar to kind of maintenance doors of our own era. The northern door appears to be wood reinforced with iron. The wood appears to have basically sallowed over time and become thinner, and you can kind of see through the cracks of the door, and could probably pry the door open if necessary. And then the doors to the right are double doors.
Straw. It's made out of straw.
You scared the hell out of me.
I get what you're going.
Good
for.
lord.
You could blow down all of the doors, but no, it is not made out of straw. It is actually made out of metal, and that door is a double door. The metal doors, they appear to have, in both of the door panels, slits at about eye level, but they are closed, and it appears like there's a metal slider on the opposite side of the doors that can be opened and shut.
I might.
From this side or the other side?
From the other side. And from what you could tell, Raya, that's not too uncommon from, again, what you've seen in this campaign for prison doors.
But they open from the opposite side. So that's
No,
weird.
Right.
I'm going to try to just slide it from this side, see if it happens to be latched or not.
Yeah, it appears that the whatever mechanism would bind it is currently in place.
Huh, that's too bad. Shambles, kick down that wooden door.
There's a wooden one?
To the north.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I heard the stone one. Yeah, I'll give a gentle knocking on.
Do you kind of look through the door first?
Oh yeah, if I could
Sure.
get any kind of information.
Yeah, it looks like a torture chamber. There's a rack directly in front of you. There appears to be a skeleton at it, just turning the mechanism for the rack. The chains continue to kind of bind out, and look like they're in their final state, but he keeps pulling at the rack for some reason. Then you can see directly behind him there is a furnace, basically a round stone with heat coming out from it. To the left of that, there's a table with a bunch of implements of torture. And from what you can kind of see, there's another skeleton kind of meandering around the room. Looks like he's going back and forth from the rack to the a table in the far corner, which looks like it has more torture implements. Every time, if you watch for a couple of moments, every time he comes back, he seems to have a different tool and leaves the tool he brought in the first place behind.
Does it seem like they're doing this with purpose, or they're just going through the motions here?
It looks
you
like
said the one's cranking the.
It looks like
the
they're going
thing?
through the motions.
I'll let the others know that there's skeletons in there, but I'm just gonna open the door if I'm able to, if it's not locked.
It is locked.
I'm kicking it down.
Just try knocking.
It's not hard, and you break through the wood and are able to kind of step through the iron frame into the room beyond. The loud sound, crushing, and everything doesn't seem to change the current status of the skeletons performing their tasks.
Can I see anything else? Anything new?
If you step forward one square, you'll see to the right there is a Iron Maiden. And then past that one,
no way!
On the right side, there's a skeleton standing outside of a cell, and he's just kind of reaching into the cell with a red hot poker, and poking it into the cell as if he were stabbing something that was present.
I got it. Yeah, I'm just going to sort of recollect myself from kicking the door down, thinking that would start something, and just sort of mosey around.
Okay. Looks like
see what they're up to.
Prison cells to the left, and it looks like there is the stuff that I described before. Raya, for you, the scene is a bit different. You see the rack being pulled, and you can see that there's a incorporeal body laying out on the rack being pulled. Looks like they're in agony. Every so often, the torturer comes over and implements one of the tools on the soul. The one who's poking the red hot poker into the cell in the far corner appears to be doing so to two young childlike souls sitting there within the cell being stabbed at. The prison cells, the one you can see from here, it looks like it has 2 or 3 individuals in it.
I just whisper to Shambles as he walks, like, dude, what the fuck?
They don't know what they're doing. Somebody set it and forget.
No,
does
dude, I think they know exactly what they're doing. You see those people?
Does Beldrug see this happening?
Doesn't see the spirits, no. The only person who sees the spirits is Raya.
Okay.
I'm straight up fucking these people up.
Raya,
because Beldrug would kill them so hard.
Because Raya...
Raya's a ghost man.
No, I'm trying to think of the kid's name. I can't think of his name for the life of me.
From the...
Haley Joel Osment.
Yeah, Haley Joel Osment.
I see dead people. We all fucking see dead people. The room's full of skeletons.
Got me there.
Do you see what's happening, Raya?
I walk up to this table and just point it out. Like, there's a dude right here.
Yep. It's soundless to you, though. Again, it does look like they would be screaming.
I can see them and not hear them?
Correct.
Okay. Like, what is this guy on the table?
Guys,
again,
working hard or hardly working?
In this weird ghostial state, especially like twisted in agony, what you're seeing is a humanoid figure. This could be a human, elf, any basic kind of human-like creature. It's probably not a dwarf or a halfling, just because of size differentiations. But yeah, it's like maybe it's a tiefling, maybe you don't know because the features are coming in kind of blurry. I'm trying to think of a good ghost movie that you could reference in your mind for that.
Just stick with Scooby Doo. We're fine.
Scooby Doo it is. Poltergeist was kind of where I was going. Yeah, like a blurry kind of weird, just disrupted state.
That dude's over there burning 2 kids, and this dude's just being stretched and stabbed and everything. Like, you're just gonna walk around?
Fearing that Beldrog would rush in and try to attack the one right in front of him.
Okay. Wait, no, sorry, no, you don't control Beldrug. Rewind.
I don't?
No, you just get to act as him in combat. You do not get to do things like that for Beldrug.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Sorry. No, you don't.
I thought I was Beldrug today.
You don't. You are not. You are not Joe.
Oh, okay.
You guys don't see this.
No.
I'm gonna walk down the hallway.
Sir, are you burning children?
He
it seems preposterous to me.
doesn't appear to acknowledge your presence here, and appears.
You said there's 2 or 3 people in this cell.
Yeah. Real quick though, back to Shambles. As you're kind of looking at the skeleton and talking to him, the thing you notice is that the eye sockets inside of them, they appear to have small pieces of round, like marble, like glass inside of them, kind of set in. Like if you've ever seen a skeleton or a skull rather, you know that like in the back of the eye socket, there's like that hole where like all the cords kind of go into the rest of the kit. They're kind of like set in those like the holes in the sockets.
Can I get a closer look? Like, he doesn't seem bothered by my presence so far. I'll just
not at all. And
get right up in his face.
You basically spend a couple seconds with him. You would recognize that it is, to your original thought, it appears to be kind of like a programmed activity. Like his movements are the same thing over and over again, and you can kind of like move in and not risk him like taking a weird action and bumping into you. But yeah, they look like small.
I'm going to stay close to him, and I'm going to call for Benson to come have a look at this guy.
If you've ever seen kids play marbles, or if you ever did so when you were a kid yourself, they look just like cat's eye marbles. Back to you, Raya. Yeah, in this one there appear to be 2. One has a more feminine figure, one has a more masculine figure. One is kind of in between heights, like not a kid, not a adult.
Adolescent.
But yeah, you're not really getting a read on any gender there.
No, I'm just peering in. I'm not even gonna look that hard.
One spirit in this one, and the last one has 2 spirits, and the one in the middle looks like it might be a dwarf. The 2 on the far side look like they are tall and slender, very lithe individuals. If they are, they're very androgynous, basically, in their features that you can discern.
Look at these 2. Who are you?
They don't respond. They don't seem to notice you're there either. Like, you can't see their eyes or features. It's just kind of like a blur of face. But you can kind of tell that it looks like they're talking to each other, these 2.
Yeah, I'm going to just keep trying to get someone to notice me.
Okay.
Hey, Joe.
Hey. Benson, you would notice that, you can't really see all the way up into the eye sockets. But
I got upsies.
I gave him upsies.
Oh, okay. If you're holding him out like
no, my boy's up here with me. I'm like, look in there, get in there.
Yeah, they're cat's eye marbles that appear to be kind of set in the place there. And what you're thinking about when you see them is, they might be some method for seeing beyond the veil. Basically, some kind of focus for being able to see into the ethereal or near ethereal. So you think about what Raya said about there being things that are being tortured here, and then you think about what the skeletons have in their eye sockets, and you think that there might be some truth to what Raya has said.
You think those are worth having?
Have we tried removing them? Yeah.
And real quick, did I hear that Joe was in?
Yep. Yeah.
Okay. Real quick catch up for you, Joe. You went down away from because last session you fought a bunch of ghosts, but you weren't there. They came up and they took a short rest, and you were like staying up there with the judge and trying to figure some stuff out about the Zone of Truth stuff. Not too much important there, but I'll send you some information on that on the side chat. You then went down from there to this weird door. When Raya touched the door also knocked Shambles unconscious for some reason, some weird anti-magic thing. but not anti-magic. When it was touched by Raya, skeletons attacked you from the sarcophaguses near the door. You fought them. You defeated them. You went inside. There was a weird undead knight in there named Sir Keegan. Sir Keegan said he is only to be brought to consciousness if the Mage Ear is to be killed. They didn't know what that was about. They had to destroy 2 magic items to reseal Sir Keegan. Then they went up this way, and they're in a torture room. There are 3 skeleton torturers who are torturing air to what you're seeing. And according to Raya, he says he can see spirits being tortured by the skeletons. And Benson just found cat's eye marbles inside of the skeletons' heads, which he thinks might be a way for the skeletons to view into the ethereal plane.
I'm gonna get all pissed off and rush up to this one and just smash it.
Okay.
Can I join Zoom without messing things up?
Yeah, I believe I'm ready for it.
29 damage. If a 23 hits.
Yeah. Hold on a second. All right. You knock him down. That's it. The other ones continue to perform their tasks.
That's it. I think you should try to remove an eye.
No, that's what I was thinking. I was going to try to reach up and remove an eye.
Okay.
I'll hold him steady.
If you reach in and kind of grab a hold of the cat's eye marble, it feels like it's pretty well stuck in there. And you kind of feel the head kind of like wriggle away from you. You can make a strength athletics check to try and wrench it free from its position.
17.
Yoink! You pull it out. The second you do, you watch the skeleton kind of like shift its head towards you and then just fall into a pile of bones at your feet.
Can I look through the cat's eye marble?
Yeah. It seems to distort the sight around you as if you were looking through a marble, if you've ever done that when you were young.
Can't see any ghosts.
No ghosts.
I say it doesn't seem to have done anything. It was somehow connected to it, but...
Raya, you're crazy.
I'm gonna smash this one too. Fuck these guys.
Okay. If you rush over to the other skeleton and attack it and hit it, it's adjacent to an ally, and yep, it's dead. It falls over, broken into pieces. It's holding in its hand.
33.
It's holding in its hand as you rush over and stab it. It looks like like an embalmer's tool that would be used to kind of like enter in through the nose and pull out the brains. And you would have noticed in its cycling, it actually took this one up at one point and was inserting it into the face area of the spirit. But yeah, now it's dead, and that thing kind of lays on the ground next to it. After all of this is done, you see the spirits just kind of become less tense and kind of stop thrashing about, kind of laying in their positions or standing in their cells.
I'm gonna take tension off the rack.
Okay.
And just stare at the guy. Who are you?
It doesn't seem like they are acknowledging you exist at all.